All right, Logan, welcome back to another installment of Algebra 1. So this right here is just a very quick overview, or just a recap, sorry, of how to solve a quadratic using the graphing technique. I also wanted to introduce the Jamboard technology, which is kind of like a tablet type thing. My suggestion is that you download this for your iPhone or your Android. So if you have a smartphone, go ahead and download the app. That way you can interface with it as if it was a tablet. If you have any questions, go ahead and ask me, and I'll help you out with that. When you get to something that looks like the Jamboard that's been set up in your Google Classroom, you'll have the ability to add more files if you wanted to. Right now, I just have the two. I have the one that I'm about to do. If you want, you can just add it by clicking down here and then saying that you want to add to the left to the right. Okay. All right, so what I want to do is I want to talk about how to solve problem number 1, x squared plus 40 equals 14x by graphing. So we're going to graph this guy by graphing. All right, so there's going to be four parts to this problem. The first part is to make sure that you set it up in standard form. That means you're going to want to right away, all right, so this right here, click this, and this changes the pen style. So I'm going to go with green, and I want to use that, the marker versus the pen. These two I don't use at all. All right, so what I want to do is I want to subtract the 14x. So I'm going to subtract the 14x from both sides of the equation. Now, since I can't subtract the 14x from either 40 or x squared, I'm just going to throw it right in the middle. So I got the minus 14x right there. This result is x to the power of 2 minus 14x plus 40 is equal to 0. All right, so that's the first thing. Second thing you're going to want to do, I'm going to go and change the color right here. Second thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to find the axis of symmetry, and that's going to be using the equation, the axis of symmetry equation, x equals the opposite of b over 2a. So we have x equals opposite b over 2a, and in this problem here, our a is 1, our b is negative 14, and our c, which we don't need, but I'll go ahead and write it down just for completion, is going to be 40. All right, so we're going to take the negative 14 and we're going to do the opposite of that. So that means x equals the opposite of negative 14 is positive 14 over, and then 2 times a, and a is 1 in this problem, so 2 times 1. The result is x equals 14 over 2, which is 7 over 1, or just 7. So that right there is going to be your second step. Your third step is to find your vertex. So now the vertex, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take that 7 and you're going to want to plug it in to the original equation right up here. So you're going to plug it in for all the x's. So we're going to go 7 to the power of 2 minus 14 times 7 plus 40, and you're going to want to simplify that thing out. This gives you 49 minus 98 plus 40. And then finally, when you combine all those like terms, we end up getting negative 9. So now we're going to take those two guys right there. We're going to take that number there. We're going to take this number over here. And we're going to combine them to give us our vertex, which is located at 7, negative 9. So now I'm going to start graphing with what I have right here. So we're going to graph the axis of symmetry first by going 7 spaces to the right. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then we're going to draw a dotted line right there. That is our axis of symmetry. Second step, what we want to do is we want to take that 7, negative 9, and we're going to plot that. So we're going to go down 9 spaces, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And we're going to place a point right there. All right, so that sets up the first 3 steps: standard form, axis of symmetry, followed by the vertex. Next, what I want to do is introduce or go back to that quadratic pattern. So if you recall, every single quadratic in existence will always follow this pattern, and that pattern is 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, and it's just going to keep going on forever. All quadratics follow it. Some quadratics you have to multiply, but on this one, since there's no number in the front, since a is 1, we don't have to multiply by anything. And all this means is that if I go over 1, I'm going to go up 1. If I go over 1 again, I'm going to go up 3, 5, 7, and 9, and so forth. So I go over 1, up 1, and then I'm going to go over 1 and up 3. And then I'm going to go over 1 and up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I'm going to put my point right there. Now, since it is a parabola, it's going to be symmetrical on both sides. So I'm going to have a second point over there, a second point that is symmetrical to the one there, and a second point that is symmetrical to the one on the right. All right, so if I connect all our points right here, what I end up getting is something that kind of looks like a parabola. And now all I have to do is identify the solutions. There are two solutions. The first one is x equals 4. And then our second solution is this guy right here, which is 7, 8, 9, and 10. X equals 10. Now, in the homework, you're going to be asked to answer your solutions, answer in a certain format. So since your two answers are x equals 4 and x equals 10, the way that I wanted you to enter your answers is I want you to just write 4, comma, no space, and 10, and then press submit. The very last question, I'm going to ask you to submit a PDF of this file. All you have to do is go to the three dots right there, go down to download as PDF, click that, and what's going to happen is it's going to save it as a PDF file, and it'll show up on your in your Chromebook in the download folder. Once you open up your download folder, so this right here is a little bit different because it is a Mac, but when you open up your download folder, you'll get something that looks like this, and it'll say sample board. If you can rename your sample board as your last name, so my last name is Rocco, so I'm going to go Rocco dash, my first name's Edward, so I'm going to go E, and then just press enter, and then that's the file that you're going to submit when you submit your assignment. All right, hope this is helpful. If you have any questions, go ahead and give me an email, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks a lot.